Hi everyone, it's Stacy from PeonyLaneDesigns.com. Have you subscribed to the channel yet? If not, click the little blue button. Don't forget to click the subscribe button, comment down below, like this video, and click the bell icon to be notified. Good morning. I'm coming on today with a short video because I just want to ask for some help from you guys. So we've built this amazing community here, and I absolutely love your advice. I listen to what you guys say for projects, all that kind of stuff. I need help with the blog. Okay. So I have recipes on the blog, and I want to do a new series for freezer meals because I didn't know how many people don't do freezer meals. Like, I was talking about it at Picket, and one of the two vendors actually. So I was at PF2 and I started the conversation. And then when I shift changed and I migrated over to PF1 and we had finished our conversation, the person sitting next to me was like, I want to hear more about these freezer meals, right? So I didn't know how many people don't do this. And I've been doing this since 1994 when I got married, and I'll explain why. Because when I got married, the internet was not a thing, right? So there was no internet. Well, there was, but it wasn't used like it is now. And you got cookbooks when you got married, right? Like, I got a cookbook. Everything in that bloody cookbook cooks for 4 to 6 people. There were 2 of us in my house. So if I made a meal, it was going to feed 4 people at least, which meant leftovers. And my husband doesn't eat leftovers. So I end up having to eat all the leftovers, which means every day for lunch, I got to eat a leftover. And if you're cooking 5 meals during a week, 7 meals, like 7 dinners that are made for 4 to 6 people, that's a lot of leftovers. Like, for every meal, I got 2 leftovers, right? And for those 2 leftovers, the next day I was making 2 more. I mean, it exponentially increased until I could eat all the freaking leftovers, and I was wasting a lot of food. So I started freezer cooking or batch cooking, or like, it made sense to not waste food because we were broke. And now we're back to people post-pandemic needing to cook. And they were asking me all these questions about how I freeze food. And I'm like, you know what? I need to do a blog series. So I want to know from you. I mean, I know what their questions were, but I want to know from you, what questions do you have? Because even now, I have a family of 3. My husband won't eat leftovers, and neither will my kid. She's just like her dad. And she's a lot like me at the same time. She's a good combination. All right. I'm not going to lament about that. There are parts of me I wish she was more like. She is my favorite person, though. Oh, anyway. So I have learned to freeze meals as I'm making them, after I'm making them, and then I make makeovers. I don't call them leftovers. They have to be a different meal or they will not eat them. So I have a bunch of makeover meals. I take the leftovers and I make them into something else. And we talked about that when I was at Picket Fence, and they had so many questions. And I was like, wow, really? Because I've been batch prepping a lot. Like, my freezer was empty. So I needed to get it full again. I mean, we're back to running for school. So freezer meals make it endlessly easy to just pop things in the oven. I have a coffee cake this morning that came out of my freezer last night, and I put the timer. I have a timer on my oven. I learned to use it, and I'm so excited. But I put the timer on, and my coffee cake was nice and warm and cinnamony, and this morning when I woke up, it's really nice to have. It's freezing here. Like, it's below 0 right now. And it was nice to wake up to that warm smell, that cozy smell, and come out, and it's a cold house, but the kitchen was warm, you know, and I didn't have to get up at 4 a.m. to do it. So I have a lot of meals that can be timed. I have a lot of meals that can be crock pot cooked. All my dump meals are not weird things. Like, I learned to freezer cook meals my family would actually eat. Like, soup is just soup. It's not a dinner unless it's chili. My chili. My family loves my chili. And there are people at the soup party that we have every year that will not eat any other chili but my chili. I'm telling you, it has won chili contests. It's a good chili. Yes, there's a recipe. There's a version of my recipe. So I make a spicy Bloody Mary chili, and then I make a regular chili, which is not on my blog yet. But I can put it up there if there's a demand. Anyway, I don't do cooking here on the channel because I'm not a pretty cook. Like, cooking videos and stuff like that are like, they have these epic kitchens where they cook, and it's just like marble kitchens. I have a one-butt kitchen. That's what we call it. I intentionally made a one-butt kitchen when I built my house because I don't want anybody in there with me. It's tight. It's cramped. It's not pretty. And I'm usually covered in stuff when I'm done. Like if I'm baking, there's flour everywhere on me because I'm not a pretty cook. I'm a cook. Like I'm home cook, right? But I feel like right now, with the way prices for food are and the way, like, we can't waste. You can't go out to eat every day. You can't stop at McDonald's on the way home. Even if you have discretionary income, it's just too much. And for my family of 3, I usually spend between $80 to $100 a week. I know. And everybody was like, how? And I said, because I shop sales and I buy ingredients and I make my own convenience meals. So I want to know from you watching what questions you have about that and about freezer meals and making your own convenience foods. And then I'm going to develop a series for the blog. Not here because, again, I'm not a pretty cook. Like, I'm not an aesthetic cook. My kitchen is not an aesthetic kitchen. It's a kitchen. I'll take pictures, close-ups, because you don't want to see the whole thing. It's tight. And there are people that are just like, how can you live like this? It's such a small kitchen. I'm like, because I only need to be me in the kitchen. In my old house, I had a huge kitchen. Freaking hated it. First of all, I couldn't reach anything. And second of all, there was always people in there with me. We'd have a party and everybody's standing in the kitchen. I'm like, get out of my way. Get out of my way. Get out of my way. I put a couch in my last kitchen so they would sit down and get out of my way. I put a couch and a coffee table in my kitchen. That's how big that was. And I hated it. So when we built this house, I went, I want the smallest possible kitchen. I want a one-butt kitchen. One-butt kitchen. Mine. My butt in the kitchen. Everybody else go. I would clean my house, get it all pretty for parties, and they'd be standing in the kitchen with me. And again, I'm not a pretty cook. That kitchen was not photo worthy. It was not guest worthy either. So it bothered me. I don't like the big kitchens. But I will take pictures and I will answer all your questions because I just thought this is what everyone did. Like, there was a time when I would get together with family, like my sister, my mom, and I, my dad. The OG is a good cook. We got together and we would do batch preps, which was a thing in the 90s, where we all got together and we made these big cooking. It was one day and it was like 4 hours. We get together in the morning. We were done by lunch. We would always take one of the meals we prepped and cook it for lunch, and we'd have lunch together. We all went home. Mom's gone. My sister's moved away. We don't do that anymore, but I still batch prep for myself. I've just taken those recipes and I've cut them down. But I feel like if you have friends that are near you that want to do the same thing, it's a great thing to do because it takes minimal time when you have a group of people getting everything ready. I'm happy to tell you how to do that. But again, I'm not going to put out a cookbook anytime soon or anything like that. I'm using other people's recipes. I can show you how to make them freezer friendly. But I want to know from you guys what your questions are so you can help me with this, get this series up and running. I've already written a couple blog posts from the questions I received from the Picket Fence Gals. And now I want your help because I trust you guys. I love you guys. You guys have been amazingly supportive on everything I do. And you don't even know how grateful I am for that. And I'm grateful today for you guys watching this video and going, all right, I got some questions, or hey, maybe you could do a post on this, or you guys have great ideas. And when I start to fizzle on ideas, like you could literally see her ideas are gone. You guys always jump in to help me, and I'm so grateful. I love you guys. I really love the community that I built. Okay, I'm in love with you guys. So, and I'm gonna tell you, like the other day, somebody commented, "You are not likable." I'm like, I disagree. I'm a delight. You, on the other hand. I question you. So anyway, I appreciate that you like the fact that I am unlikable and silly. And I know I'm not everybody's cup of tea, but I found my people. You're it. So I appreciate your help. And I love that you guys are willing to help me on these adventures that we go on. And it may fall down, bust, and not be a thing. And who knows? But I've been working very hard, like we discussed, of getting some blog posts ready to go. And this was one of those things that I went, you know what? If I'm sitting here and I'm answering, and then there were customers asking questions as they came through the line. I mean, it was like, this seems to be question central. If I can answer those questions on the blog, it helps me fill in the number of blogs that I need for a year. So, excuse me. I have wicked winter allergies. Who has that? Anyway, I know. It always looks like I'm on drugs and I'm always rubbing my eyes. And So I appreciate your help. Sorry, I digest. A bunch of people are going to comment, that's why you're unlikable. Anyway, let me know. Let me know what your questions are. And I will absolutely address all of them in the blog. It's not going to be a video series. If I want to do a video, it'll be a short. It'll be like the YouTube shorts, and we'll put it on the blog and I'll link to the short, but it's not going to be here doing cooking videos. I'm not a chef. There are plenty of people to do that. I just know that this works for my family. It works for me to save my sanity. There are mornings when I'm like, oh, crap. So if I don't prep a meal, I'm going to come home to grilled cheese every night. Because that's what my husband makes. Grilled cheese and tomato soup. I love grilled cheese and tomato soup. But there's only so many days in a row you can eat it. Then it starts to feel like you're in prison. You know? It's like, ugh. Let me guess. Grilled cheese and tomato soup? So if I don't get things ready and have a specific plan in place, it's chaotic. Like, I can't afford to go to Jersey Mike's every day, and I can't afford to go, it's like, we just need to plan ahead. So like the other morning, even though we were running late, I was able to cut open one of my freezer bags, dump it in a crock pot, turn it on, and walk out the door. I mean, it was that fast and that easy. So happy to answer the questions. Let me know what they are. Thanks for watching. Love you guys. Happy chunking. Bye.
Visit my blog, peonylanedesigns.com, for more tips, tricks, and inspiration. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and click the bell icon so you'll be notified of new videos. I post every week DIY tutorials and, of course, more junkin' videos.